Hey, good morning, guys. What's up? So yeah, this is gonna be a little strange. If you guys have been following this channel, you know I try to switch up my content, see what works and what doesn't. This is my attempt at trying to show a more personal side of myself, I guess. But it's about 5 in the morning, and I kind of just want to show you what my day is like, what I do all day, which is incredibly boring for other people. I enjoy it. But I have some ideas in the works right now that I want to talk about, and I don't know, try something a little new with this channel. I wanted to get another Bible study written out, some commentary, and look into some Hebrew words. But I think I'm going to announce something. Well, I guess if it's already announced here, the title will explain it all. I'm preparing a trip, pretty much halfway across the world, and I need you guys' help.
The goal is pretty simple. I'm going to save up enough money to travel all the way to Japan and perform the Shikoku Pilgrimage. The Shikoku Pilgrimage is a 900-mile religious pilgrimage across the entire island of Shikoku. Each day, you walk about 10 miles and visit one of the 88 shrines of Shikoku Island. Once you walk the entire distance, traveling up and down mountains and forests, fighting off bears, spending your nights living out of a tent, your mornings walking in the rain, heat, or snow, and complete the entirety of the pilgrimage without using any forms of transportation other than your own two legs, tradition claims that you will be given a very special gift. The problem is that I'm completely out of shape.
I've only done 2 miles, and I don't know if you can tell, I'm already pretty sweaty. I don't know if you can, yeah. And I mean, this is just the beginning. It's just 2 miles at a little bit of an incline, but this isn't even me carrying a bag full of stuff and a tent and everything that I'm gonna need. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder than I thought.
Shortly after this, I decided to take a short break and go to the nearby supermarket to buy some water bottles for my training. But you guys won't believe what I saw there. This was completely unplanned, but my local grocery store has a new aisle focused on Japanese foods and Japanese themed accessories. I decided to buy a few different ready made Japanese meals to help me better prepare for living in Japan. After getting my water, I went right back to training. But this is probably a good moment to explain to you why I want to do the Shikoku pilgrimage. Tradition claims that upon completion of the pilgrimage, the hiker will be granted a single wish of their innermost desires. And although my wish is a secret, this pilgrimage is an important first step in my ultimate plan to evangelize Japan. Traveling across Shikoku Island will give me the perfect opportunity to meet strangers and spread the word of Christ. But there are a few problems that I need to solve before I'm ready to travel to Japan. The first is that I need to be able to walk 10 miles a day while carrying all of my hiking and camping equipment. I also need to save up enough money for the trip, read and study up on Japanese history, culture, and religious beliefs, and I need to become somewhat fluent in the Japanese language. And I need to do all of this in less than 3 years. In essence, I need to become the perfect student of Japan. After walking another 2 miles drenched in sweat, I was starting to feel my legs cramping and my feet forming blisters, so I decided to take a short break to help my body recuperate. I spent some time working on my Bible commentary, focusing on Genesis chapter 4 and its deeper meanings. You can actually find those videos uploaded onto my channel right now, and I think they're pretty good, so check them out. I also used this break time to begin learning some Japanese. I decided to start my Japanese language studies by using this Duolingo language learning app. After looking online, there was a guy from the US who claimed that after learning the entire Japanese Duolingo unit lessons, he was able to communicate pretty well in Japanese, so it seemed like a good place to start. According to the official language learner's chart, it takes roughly 2,200 hours to learn Japanese to native fluency. So if I spend at least 2 hours a day, I'll be able to master the language right on schedule. After all that studying, I decided to spend some downtime playing some online chess. Taking such a long break definitely wasn't a great idea. By this point in time, the hiking was really getting to me. My body was feeling really sore, the smell of my sweaty clothes was irritating, and I was starting to chafe pretty bad. I reached a total of a little over 5 miles, but I had to stop. There was no way I was going to be able to walk 10 miles this first day. This is a pretty good lesson for me to learn. Although I want to rush right into it and take on as much as I can, sometimes it's slow and steady that wins the race. So even though we're doing 5 miles, let's not feel too bad about it. We got many more days of practice coming. After I took a shower and changed my clothes, I decided to crack into one of the Japanese ready made meals that I'd gotten earlier in the day. And this one's a little different. It's a breakfast ramen with sausage and egg and maple syrup flavor. Yeah, I know. Doesn't really seem that great, but I figure if I'm going to visit Japan, I should probably become acquainted with foods that I'm not used to tasting. After boiling the water and putting it into the ramen noodles, and decided to take a little bit of a sniff first before I took a bite. And yeah, I don't know if you could tell, the smell, the seasoning, something about it was just really pungent. It was kind of a sweet, pungent smell that burned my nose. But I will say, after tasting the ramen itself and having a bite of it, I was pretty surprised to find that it was really good. The ramen itself was filled with fluffy scrambled eggs, and all throughout the layers of the noodles was thick pieces of sausage that went together really well. I didn't actually taste the sweetness of the maple syrup too much because everything just blended well into a deep breakfast soup. I would just compare this to a normal bowl of ramen filled with eggs and meat. It was really good. Normally, when I eat my food, I don't just sit there and eat it and stare at my food alone. I usually accompany my meals with some form of entertainment. And so, in this case, I was reading the Bible and using that time to better study for my commentary and go over a few verses that I wanted to think about and analyze the Hebrew of more closely. And with that, that's the end of my first day preparing for Japan.